order the Madison Central School District regular school board meeting for this Monday, December 12th. And Mr. Brooks can report the members present or absent. We have everyone here with President Tom Burrell joining us via FaceTime from Florida, if he hasn't rubbed in at all. We have established a quorum, and so please stand with me to say the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 5 is the approval of the agenda, and as it stands, we have no changes. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Miller. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Declare the agenda is approved. Item number 6 is the approval of consent agenda items. Item number 7 is to consider approval of the minutes for the November 14th meeting. The approval of bills. Steve, Jenny, and Leah went through those. Any questions on any of the bills for any of the bills? And then personnel actions. We have the request to hire of Mariah Fixon as a playground aide at $9 an hour, as well as a volunteer position for Eric Gower to help with the 7th grade boys basketball. We also have the resignation of Mr. Robert Heinemichael as the Director of Technology effective January 10th of 2017.
16? Oh yeah, 17.
And also the resignation of Cole Aslaxton as elementary custodian effective immediately. And then we have a contract change for Betsy Shamber from MA 30 to MA 45 for the salary you see there. As well as the acknowledgement of early retirement requests. And you mentioned that it's just one additional one that came in.
One more turn in. We have a total of 4.
I would make a motion to approve consent item 7 through 9.
Okay, motion by Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Moore. Any discussion?
I'd just like to thank Rob for all of his work that he's done for the district, both as a teacher and also as our Director of Technology. He's done a very, very good job of leading the district forward.
Agreed. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks.
All right, all in favor of the approval of consent items 7 through 9, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. And item number 10 is the hearing of delegations and written communications from school patrons. Hopefully you have anyone that wishes to address us. So we're moving on to item number 11, which is potential conflict disclosure statements. And we have received none, unless you have any. Okay. So we will move on to item number 12 then, the administrator reports. Cotton included the middle school report that was linked with quite a few videos, as well as other things that they've been doing there. And then we've got Computer Science Education Week with Rob.
Want me to
Do
take
you want
that?
to start, or?
All right. So I sent you some links this morning-ish. I'll hand them to you printed off too. So I'll give you one. So these are just some topics I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to talk a lot about them. Mainly focus on, last week was Computer Science Education Week. We did a few things inside the schools, but not nearly as much as what we've done in the past, which I'll explain to you here in a second of why that was. So Computer Science Education Week always falls around the first week of December. It falls around Grace Hopper's birthday, and she worked for the Navy and created a programming language and things like that. So it falls in probably one of the worst times. It falls in a bad time for the college area. It falls in a bad time for the elementary and the other schools. So the elementary is looking at taking Computer Science Education Week, which was last week, and moving it kind of into January when they kind of come back from break and everything else that goes with it. So the links that I shared with you is a growing trend of what we see computer science education moving into. So if you notice, I have one on Rhode Island, by December 2017, Rhode Island will require all their schools to teach computer science K through 12. The state of Washington just adopted K-12 computer science standards. A place in Texas is making it required. All their teachers went to training this summer in that school in Texas, and all their students have to do computer science K through 12. So part of this is not only recognizing Computer Science Education Week, but also looking at the impact and some of the things that we can look at. I'm one of 3 facilitators in the state of South Dakota for code.org, so I gave you the code.org sticker and things like that. So in the month of October, I met with K through 2 teachers and did the K-5 code.org fundamental training, which they all received a curriculum guide and some other stuff. And this leads up to the Computer Science Education Week. So we did that for K through 2 during October, 3 through 5 during November, with the hope that we kind of kick it off in December. But like I said, because of schedules and concerts and stuff like that, we kind of pushed it to January. So we had 26 teachers inside the elementary take advantage of that time. And I made a little incentive to do so. So if you have kids in elementary and they came home with those binary bracelets, so I used some of the funding from code.org to purchase all the beads so that Robin Schwabach could do that in her class with every student. I also told them for every teacher that took the code.org training, I would donate $10 for them to have some sort of computer science party. And since this year's computer science education and the Hour of Code focuses around the movie Moana, they're looking at hopefully inside of January doing kind of a Hawaiian luau type theme. So I hope they can use that $260 to help fund some of that stuff. So part of this is just recognizing that the Computer Science Education Week, but then also a lot of the information I gave you is growing trends that we're seeing across the nation on how computer science is playing a role inside of the K-12 curriculum. It used to be kind of in the high school. There is one thing in there that I'll probably talk to people in the near future. There's one article on the back about how rural America is missing out on this because we're not doing enough with computer science and the amount of jobs that are out there. Right now there's over 10,000 open computer science jobs in Washington, D.C. alone. If you go out to a couple charts, by the year 2020, which would be last year's seniors if they went to college, by the time they graduate college, there'll be 1.4 million unfilled computer science jobs in the United States. So the idea is that we need to start getting this going at the younger age. I put this picture about millennials, and I thought about this inside of a classroom. So it says millennials who use computers in complex ways on the job are most likely to say that they're extremely satisfied about their job. And I think sometimes that's how we have to look at technology inside of our school as well. We can just use technology, or we can also use it in a complex way and get more out of it. So there is one thing in here from, if you look underneath that Computer Science for All Consortium, there is a pledge. And if you go out there and take a look at it sometime, you can see the states and the districts that are pledging to say that they're going to do this, that they're going to start looking at offering computer science. So like I said, we had 26 teachers that did the K-5 fundamentals. I wish it would have been more, but I know people have busy schedules and things like that. But part of the reason that I'm leaving, right, in a month, is I really want to impact computer science education all around. So last summer, I was made a code.org facilitator. My goal was to train 200 teachers inside of South Dakota inside of that. So I want to impact computer science education a little bit more. And just with my schedule and stuff at DSU and making that a goal, that's kind of the reason why, if people are kind of wondering. I'm not leaving town. I'm still at DSU full time. I will be around and always happy to do anything related to computer science or technology in general. So, anybody have any questions about computer science education or the week or December? No. All right.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
I could have talked longer. You have a really short meeting, so. But
Joel, do you have anything for me?
Yeah, just a couple things. As of 11:20 this morning, I think it was, the auto shop is enclosed. Not completed, but it's enclosed. That's a good stepping stone. And talking with Don and Gary at our meeting this morning, or excuse me, this afternoon, it's still on schedule to be completed by the end of December, so they'll be scrambling the next couple weeks, but it was a good milestone to get everything enclosed. This weekend, they were up and out on the roof and enclosing things, and it was a little cold out there, so good news, but that part, the outer shop has been enclosed as of this morning. I'll be traveling to Pier this week. Middle of the week, the large school group will be meeting. We have a couple meetings out there. It's on Wednesday. Again, we'll see what all, it's going to mainly be talking about the upcoming legislative session and also the different things that we've been talking about, conflict of interest and those type of things, about how they can clarify it, make it a little bit clearer for schools. District 8 schools and legislators, we have a meeting set up here on December 20th at 10 a.m. and that'll be for the District 8 legislators and all those school districts, the administrators and those board members that want to attend at 10 a.m. on the 20th. It'll just be 1 hour, basically a chance for them to share what they want to share with us about the upcoming legislative session, questions we may have, and just a chance to get to meet everybody. So I don't have a number on how many are attending yet. If you're interested in attending, please let me know or Ron know, and we'll make sure we have everything set up. Last thing I'll touch real quick is in-service. We had in-service last Wednesday. Went well, covered a number of items from math counts to science reviews to started a book study. And in January, we'll be traveling to West Central for an area professional development, which will have a lot of different breakout sessions and a keynote. And schools that'll be involved, I believe right now, next in January, would be West Central, Madison, McCook Central, Viborg, Hurley, Baltic, Tri-Valley, Montrose, Garrettson, Coleman, Egan, and Marion. And we'll have some of our staff presenting as well as staff from most of the schools will have breakout sessions, so that'll be coming up in January.
And that's for K-12.
K-12.
Everyone that's
Yep.
coming.
K-12.
Joel, or Mitch, did you have anything? Item number 13 is to approve the Department of Education application for a waiver from an administrative rule for Algebra 1 to be taught in the 8th grade level for high school credit. And as we visited earlier, this is a renewal that has to be renewed every 5 years, so it's not a change, it's keeping in place what we already have. So I believe Rob has that up on the board, the waiver that we are looking at. So anything else you wanted to say, Mom?
No, it's just so we can continue to offer high school credit for 8th grade algebra. It's a process they have to go through every 5 years, and it's up, so we're asking for that motion again.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve item number 13?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Moore, is there a second? Second. Second by Mrs. Thompson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. And item number 14 is an executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 125-2, Section 1 for personnel matters. So is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Thompson, is there a second?
Second.
At 5:45.
And Mr. Miller, we will go into executive session at 5:45 p.m.
Did we do the conflict of disclosure?
We did.
We did.
I know, did we do a motion on item 9?
On item 9, I have that Thompson was the first and Moore was the second.
Okay.
79.
Sorry, I thought you wanted something.
Nope.
Any discussion going into executive session? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, we will go into executive session at 5:45.